Quiet the notifications.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, hey.
Hello, Internet. That's
That's
wild. Is that what it looks like from your perspective?
Oh
I don't
Drew?
have my, what happened?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I don't
Everybody
have my,
went.
I didn't have my high heels on. I have my high heels
Oh,
on.
good.
See, when I
I thought
take
you
my
got
shoes
your
off,
legs shortened for a second.
So it turns into,
Yeah.
I don't even know what you call that. Just a short guy.
How do you walk
guess.
around in those heels?
very carefully.
Yeah, but his calves.
Very sexily. Sassily.
I do say
I
so
honestly don't know
myself.
how women can wear high heel shoes.
I
Like that's and the ones that can run in them.
Oh,
they're
I know.
they're awesome.
Like
They are
what's her
very
name in
good.
Jurassic World?
I don't know. It's like,
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah,
not that
Bryce
I
Dallas
put them
Howard, yeah.
on. I'm just looking at the physics of it.
Right.
Like.
Right.
Yeah, and there's some large women, like tall women that get
Tall,
on
yeah.
these things, and they're just
Like what's her name in Ted Lasso? Like she's a tall.
Oh
and
my
she wears
gosh,
heels in that
Hannah
show.
Waddingham.
Hannah?
I just.
Oh yeah, Hannah, yeah.
I have
She
a
rocks
pair.
that
Love
I have a
her.
pair of Paris Hilton's high heel shoes.
What?
Swear.
I do.
That's kind of creepy.
You have a
She
pair of Paris Hilton's high heel shoes?
She left
Kink?
them at my house.
She,
Oh, okay.
what?
I thought
The
you
tall
purchased
ones are
them.
clear. They're huge.
Shut up.
I
Why
swear
was
to
she
God.
at your
She used
house?
to wear-
She has big feet.
She used to hang out at our house all the time. She was dating one of our friends way back in the day. She used to say she was staying with Marisa. Meanwhile, she's downstairs with my friend. So,
Doing things.
yeah.
Making
I told you-
making
I
making
told you
videos.
I ran pretty hard.
Did
in
was
LA
the
for a
video
while.
shot? Was the video shot in your place?
Oh, I know all about that video. I know when it happened. I know who did. Like
No way.
I was in the middle of
What?
that nightmare.
Oh,
No
man.
way.
Yeah.
Drop the heat.
Yeah,
Drop
no,
the heat.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying anything. I am not saying.
Hey
anything.
everybody, welcome to Trailer Talk. We're gonna be talking about two pretty interesting trailers today. Dune, literally, the Dune Part 2 trailer dropped literally like 2 hours ago.
Why are
Like,
you apologizing that we're 24 hours late?
we're not 24 hours late.
We were supposed to do this yesterday.
Oh yeah.
We are 24 hours
Drew had
late.
technical difficulties.
Time is
Oh.
ephemeral. Fear is the mind killer, is what I say. Yeah, no, we had some scheduling issues, so we are now on Wednesdays. But yeah, most people, listen, you're gonna watch it when you watch it, and that's just kind of how the internet works now.
Are we forever
Yeah.
on Wednesdays?
No,
No.
just
No.
this week.
Just today.
Just today.
Yeah, we'll go back to
Today's
Tuesdays next week.
Tuesday.
Today is
Schedules.
now Tuesday. No,
Is
don't
anybody
do that
watching?
because everybody's added an extra day to their
Is
work
anybody
week.
watching? No, no one's watching.
Is
Nobody's
everybody
watching.
anybody?
I was
They could be
checking.
watching after it goes live, PJ.
Yeah.
They could be listening right now on any
No,
podcasting
they
platform.
want to know about this because we're going to talk about Dune. And it's dropped today, right?
It did. Just
You
dropped.
listen to the words that come out of my mouth. I
Never.
literally just said it. The
Never.
Dune, the trailer dropped like 2 hours ago.
You know I never listen to
I
you.
know it's
I don't read
frustrating.
your emails.
It's frustrating.
Your texts occasionally.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. If I send you like naked photos, you respond to
Always.
those.
Always. How about those photos today?
Those are nice.
Those are funny, right?
Yeah.
Just leave it at that.
That's just there was soup involved.
Oh.
And then we're gonna talk about after Dune, we're gonna talk about Hunger Games, the Hunger Games prequel, the Ballad of the songs. And
Stephanie's
birds
so excited about this.
snakes and
I'm interested
and
to see this one.
snows
Wow.
and things. So I listen. It's kind of one of those things where I'm like, do we need this? But then the trailer came out. I'm like, maybe we do. We're gonna get into that. But first, I kind of want to talk about real quick, everybody. Are you guys aware that this thing that hasn't happened in like a decade has now happened? The writer strike.
I thought it was you talking about sex. You
Sex.
having sex again. I was like, oh God, here comes another kid.
That's also true. But no, writer strike. Are you guys familiar with how this works?
It's good for us.
Is it?
Well, we get to pick
Is
up all
it?
that crew that has nothing to do.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. The crew, yeah. So, well, technically, things that are in production now are probably still in production.
And they piled up a lot of scripts.
A lot of scripts have been,
For
they've
movies.
saw this coming. So if
But TV, no writers' rooms.
no writers' rooms, so like if there was a show currently being written in a writer's room, that
You're
is
done.
halted.
Yeah.
Basically, the dispute, which pits about 11,500 television and screenwriters against the major studios, has shattered 15 years of labor peace that has like kind of like in the
I
entertainment
don't think
business.
it'll last long. The last one devastated LA.
Yeah, the last one lasted 100 days in 2007, and the Los Angeles economy lost an estimated $2.1 billion.
I was there when it happened.
Billion.
billion dollars, $2.1 billion. A lot, there's a lot of people on both sides of this, and I'm interested to hear what you guys think. So there's a lot of people think that like, hey, this destroys shows, like
Well,
shows
just-
that have been greenlit, and then there's other people. It's like, hey, no, that doesn't really affect anything. Most things just pause and then come back, right? And then a lot of people say that pausing time let people craft their shows better. There's examples of like Breaking Bad where they said like they were going to kill off the character Jesse, but then they came when in the off time they thought about it more and like, no, we should incorporate that character more. There's examples of shows getting better because of the writer's strike, because they had more time to kind of craft the story they wanted to tell. Like the writers continue to write even though they're not in the room, right? And then there's examples of, we hear about shows that lost momentum and then ended up, they felt that the writer's strike kind of killed the show. Where do you guys stand on this? Do you think this is or do you, I don't know if you want to get into the politics of it, but like, how do you guys feel the writer's strike, and do you think it's the right thing, and how do you think it's going to affect the economy and the shows you love right now?
I would just preface it with like a little bit of context for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, because I feel like
Sure.
it is definitely very prevalent over in the US right now, and it's
Sure.
really not on a lot of UK/EU media. Like I really didn't know about it until I was on somebody else's Instagram and they shared something about it. So I feel like maybe some people just don't know what it is, and basically it is a writer's strike against Hollywood, essentially, to argue for better pay, to help writers have, you know, a livable, lovely wage so that they can actually do what they love for a living. Whereas I think executive heads and basically the higher ups, their salaries have just been booming for the last decade, like booming, going up and up and up and up, when writers actually, I think it went down 4%, but then if you take into account inflation, it was like 23%, that their wages actually went down over the last decade. So that's kind of shit. So I just kind of wanted to preface it with basically what the writers are striking for is better work conditions and a better salary.
Yeah, and there's a lot of nuance there. Obviously, the streaming changed things. Used to be episodes were like 20 episodes, 19, 20, 24
That's
episodes
right,
long.
yeah.
And so writers were getting paid. They get paid per episode, right? Like, so they were getting paid more because there was more content being written per season for shows. Now streaming came along. Some shows are only like 6 episodes, some 8, the 12, right? So they've basically cut in half the amount of shows. So the writers aren't getting paid as much as they were. A lot of that income now, the overall, you're seeing the droppage because of the amount of episodes that are being done. So there's a lot of nuance, and so they're trying to figure out how the best way to kind of juggle all these things, and that's what they're negotiating. The strike is for, to negotiate and everybody to get what they think is what they deserve, to your point, Pagan. Better wages at the end of the day.
That's just basically my point on it then. Just pay your
So,
writers. Pay 'em.
Oh, Lily.
EJ.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thanks
you for
for
the
the soup,
soup,
man.
man.
Thank you for the soup, EJ.
All right, here's a counter opinion.
All right. Go.
So, first of all, love writers. Writers should get paid more. The last strike, they won to get some back end, which they deserve, and they should get more back end in success. I totally believe that, and I don't think they have enough, and I don't know if that's in there. The last strike was also when digital was just exploding, and I think they, as a union, made some big mistakes on how they negotiated it 15 years ago, and I think they're trying to fix that now, because now everybody knows how streaming works, and the writers are underserved in that element. Okay, so I believe in it for that point. And yes, the studios, although the studios have been struggling to make money against the systems of the streamers.
Right.
So, and that's their fault, not the streamers' fault. So there's an issue there, and I think the streamers have to set in. And then in the way that we used to make money off movies and TV has completely changed, because, before you used to be able to sell those 5 levels of territories across the world. Now, once it goes out into streaming, it's gone. So the revenue in and of itself is gone. So, and that's the argument the studios are making. That said, I am not a fan of unions because they don't do what they used to do. Like back in the day where they prevented kids from working and, better conditions and that sort of stuff. But my opinion, and argue if you want, but my personal opinion from paying the unions in Hollywood, it's more about pension and health than it is about the wages and rights for the workers. So, and I can give you stories about how I negotiated and worked with the unions where all that mattered was pension and health for the people that weren't even involved, and all the rates that I negotiated that, would not have been considered, lower small media rates and that, they didn't give a shit about that. They just wanted, and I literally, in the one negotiation I had where they came in to try to shut my show down, I had calculated what the pension and health difference was. And I said, I'll give you the pension and health money, but everything stays the same. And they said, sure. And they took the check for $100,000 for their pension and health, and it was over with. So I would need to understand more about what the argument is, and please let it be for those things I mentioned earlier, and not just more about the frickin' pension and health, which is important, but still, they don't do enough for their writers. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm with you on unions. I'm not a huge fan. I understand that they for certain aspects they do help, but I also feel like there is a lot of unions, and I'm not in the Writers Guild or the SAG, so I can't speak to how they function. But it does feel a lot of times they're in it for themselves, not as
Not
much
for the much of the people. And
not as much for the people. But again,
the
that's just a
salaries
broad look at unions.
they're
in
still
general.
good. I mean, I think we paid when we were doing Comment season 2. I think the head writer was getting $4,800 a week. That was a SAG salary, and then the writers below in the room, I think they were getting close to $3,000 a week. And you got 5 or 6. That's a big. If you're a small budget, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
But here's the problem. What I think where the strike is a bit of a mistake, and I think they made a mistake both sides. We're in sort of the golden age of television right now.
Yeah.
And it's like this rebirth. There's better stuff on television, although we are going to see a pretty good one coming out in the movies.
Yeah.
And I think the timing is bad because
It's
it's just like to take the foot off the gas of television right now is going to open the doors for the movies to come roaring back in.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know. I
maybe
actually think, like, in a counterpoint, I think that's exactly the right time for them to strike, because this is where those people will feel it most. I
but
think
they
Drew said
went and
100.
got a whole bunch of scripts. They for the last 6 months they've been piling scripts up.
100 days. The strike lasted 100 days in 2007 and lost $2.1 billion. I guarantee that now, in today's world, this strike will probably lose more for Los Angeles.
don't
So I
think
think
it'll
that
be
even
long.
though they're on strike, like like even SNL was canceled, like especially all the live, like, late night talk shows, comedy
the talk shows
shows,
are done, yeah.
all of
Yeah.
those big productions, they're all canceled because they don't have any writers. So I feel like this is
Yeah.
kind of the prime time. Especially everything that's going on with politics, with media, because you want to see those shows specifically and talk about those discussions and talk about what's topical and add a bit of comedy to it, or see what their political stance is.
Now you can come
So-
to Trailer Talk and get all your political views from Trailer
And
Talk.
and that's the truth.
I got a few of
And
them.
that's the truth. Yeah, but
All right.
I think that it's a good time. I think it's a good
Yeah,
time.
I mean, are there any shows that you're sort of like I heard there was a tweet that the Yellow Jackets, like season 3 writers room, had one day and then they all had to break. Like so,
wow.
obviously that show, whatever the schedule they had to kind of come out, is
That's
probably
screwed.
going to get pushed, right? Probably 6 monds to a year, depending
Yeah.
on how long the strike goes on. I mean, are there
Rookies down, but they're already on hiatus right
Oh, they
now.
were on hiatus. Yeah. So, is there anything that you're sort of like, I am kind of bummed I do, or are there any shows that you hope don't get affected, or that you anticipate them getting better from this? Is there any? Do you guys have any viewpoint on that?
I mean, there's like Abbott Elementary, which that's gained a lot of popularity in this
Yeah.
past year, and it's thriving. But now with this, like, it's affected their season, and it could be like another shorter season. So I mean, I'm sure there's like a lot of shows. There's some shows where I'm like, okay, like I really don't care if that show. No offense to like the creators or anybody, but like I'm just like, it's an okay show. Like I don't know, it's and like all the talk shows. I mean, I don't know. I saw something. It was like Jimmy Fallon got interviewed at the Met Gala, and he put in his 2 cents. But then like the next day, one of his writers was like, "Oh, funny! Like you were in like the meeting
interesting.
that we were having about like." So it's interesting your viewpoint. So it's little things like that. Like I think that are very interesting. SNL, like Pete Davidson, I think this like was going to be his like sayonara, like leaving SNL. He was going to host, like I think. So that's all shifted for him. So that's something like I'm bummed about. But I don't know. I hope it doesn't go on too long, because I think there are a lot of things that are going to get severely affected.
What are we gonna watch? More reruns.
More reruns.
Probably.
reruns.
It's okay. They're gonna take this
You won't
time
see
to
it
break and then
immediately.
remake something fucking that was out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. Like listen, Hollywood is so full of money.
And
It's
shit.
so full of money that I'm just like, just pay your fucking writers, man. Just respect the quality of the work that they're giving you, that they're grinding away for, and you just have to go, that's good, and then you get a check. I feel like just pay your fucking, like, just pay them.
Right, but
just
that's,
pay what they
America
want.
right now. Everybody's bitching about what they're getting paid. Everybody's bitching.
Everybody bitches about what they're getting paid everywhere, all around the world. But like, you know, touch grass. People are in poverty, so not for the writers, but just in general. Like, I feel like everybody needs to have a good gauge of like, this isn't a worldwide problem. It is specifically a movie industry / Hollywood problem. So I kind of hope that it won't last too long, because hopefully those big execs, whoever writes the checks, like, yeah, you know what, just give them more. Give them what they deserve.
It's a hard one. They have stock prices, and they have investors that they got to appease, and if they pay their people more, then their profit margins are down, their stocks go down, and then they lose their jobs. It's just a stupid, weird, doesn't work cycle.
Yeah, it's
upsetting.
It is. It's tough. I mean, there's a lot of things to think, and because streamers think about how they budget differently than the other studios, right? Like, so NBC thinks differently about how to pay writers than even Netflix does, right? Yeah. So it's like two different models that are trying to like figure out a medium way to work with like one type of industry or one type of job skill. So it's fascinating. It'll be interesting to see how this works out. I hope, I hope, because like, there's shows out there that I loved back in the day that I think lost momentum, like the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I thought was a great show. It was about like the Terminator and Sarah Chronicle, and the writer's strike, it didn't end up finishing its like middle season. Like, it cut short halfway, right? So the season ended weird, and then it lost like all momentum because it took like a year and a half for it to come back. And back then, that was like a decade, right? Like back in network television, usually those things are like every 6 months.
Yeah.
So it lost all momentum, and that show got canceled.
Unless you're Mad Men.
What's that?
Mad Men.
That took
forever.
Yeah, that took.
They will be back in 3 years.
3 years, yeah. I mean, so it's tough, So unless you got a huge following, this can affect a lot of fandoms.
Let's get into Dune. Shut up.
Let's get into Dune. Good point.
Politics.
Well, okay then. All right then. Moving on.
Moving on. Like, PJ wants to move on, we move on. He dictates things. I'm the showrunner.
Sorry. I'm the assistant showrunner, and I keep you on schedule.
That's true. Thank you, second AD.
There you go.
Nice. Nice. Look at this movie reference banter, production banter, eh?
Dune Part
AD
2, once again directed by Denis Villeneuve. Villeneuve?
How do you pronounce it? I call it Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
It's V-U-E at the end. So
it's Denny, though. It's Denny.
Denny. Yeah, Denny. That's how the French say Dennis.
Yeah.
Bonjour, Denis. Ça va? Ça va bien, et vous, my friend?
Oh, wow.
I
just turned on right now. I don't know why.
We're going to go to a quick commercial.
Is it hot in here? We're back starring in the starring role. Timothy Chalamet is our starring role with the Zendaya.
All right.
Rebecca Ferguson is back. Javier Bardem, Stellan Skarsgård looks just amazing in this film. Josh Brolin is back, in case you thought he might have got the axe in that last movie, like Jason Momoa. But he's back. Dave Bautista, and we have some newcomers. Florence Pugh and Christopher Walken are.
She is the it girl right
Austin
now.
I love Florence Pugh, man. She's so cool.
She's awesome.
Did you see that one where she plays like this? It's in the 1800s or something, and she plays this nurse.
Yeah.
And she has this kid that doesn't eat.
Yeah.
God, she's so
it's
good.
set in Ireland. Yeah, that was really good.
And
good.
even that movie that people didn't like, where it was that
Netflix.
Science fiction thing.
Don't worry, darling.
Yeah,
Don't worry, darling.
She was good.
Yeah.
She was good in that.
No, she was good, but the movie was not good.
I love her.
Yeah, she's doing great things.
I like her a lot.
Yes.
I like her a lot.
I like her a lot.
Check out. This is a highly anticipated trailer. Again, we're seeing this pretty fresh. It just dropped a few hours ago.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
I watched I've watched it once, so I didn't really have a good chance to kind of like comb through it.
I'm
but
excited.
Let's get some first reactions on this.
Okay.
All
right, I'm ready to
touching
go.
my
In 3.
That's not your computer.
Oh, are you guys ready?
Go. Yeah.
Okay.
We're
3, 2, 1, go.
Bet you there's going to be a Pellman hit.
Nah.
Why is it not playing?
No?
I was gonna say, I was like, why isn't my playing? It's just a long opening.
It's not moving.
When you see sand here, imagine water. If you dive in, you can't reach the bottom.
You dive in.
Yes, it's called swimming.
I don't believe you.
In the shadows of Arrakis lie many secrets,
Oh.
but the darkest of them all may remain.
I love the sound.
The end of House Atreides.
My father didn't believe in revenge.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, the lighting and cinematography.
What if Paul Atreides were still alive?
Whoa. Nice.
That was a good cut.
Yeah.
Got the
Have you ever
color
had a dream
grading in
about your
this.
first ride?
It's incredible, right? Yeah.
Everything's incredible.
It's just insane.
See, this is what Star Wars should be.
Don't try to impress anyone. You're brave, we all know that.
No way.
Be simple. Be direct.
Can you imagine filming this?
Wow. This is so cool.
Isn't there worms down there?
Yeah.
Lots of big ones.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Nothing fancy.
I understand.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Get you some.
is he gonna ride the worm?
Hell yeah.
Oh, he sure is.
Nothing fancy.
Oh boy.
Yeehaw. I love those. Oh, black and white.
Wow.
You will never lose me, Paul Atreides.
We gave them something to hope for.
May thy knife chip and shatter.
It's just,
God damn.
damn.
That's why I go to
Well.
movies.
Right?
That's
Shit.
why I go to movies. That's why I love
Wow.
movies. I got goosebumps.
Epic.
That was
I rode the
cool.
worm once.
Oh, how'd that go?
It was in Mexico. I had to do something with a bottle of tequila, but man, did I ride that worm.
I rode the worm once.
Gross.
Nice. I just clip that out, please. That
Wow.
just share that on the
The
internet.
the worm came back, but I'm not gonna get into that.
Was it at the bottom of a tequila bottle?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's funny. What
got
did
a
you guys?
t-shirt,
What? Yeah. What did you guys think? I mean, is the hype still alive from part one? Are you guys feeling that?
You know, my first impressions of this was, damn, I should watch the first one.
Yeah. What?
Same.
Same, bro. Like, I didn't get to watch the
Same.
first one. I didn't even
What
get
is
to see it in
No.
cinema. I'm
It's
sorry.
not like it.
No.
Oh my, dude! Exit
You
the
know what?
stream.
The first, I swear, the first trailer was cool. Like, production-wise, super cool. Did it grip me? Nah. This is a different story. This is
more
like,
action.
here's all the you want Hollywood actor. Here,
Boom,
take
boom,
it.
boom.
Take
Yeah.
that shit. Leah Sado, Florence Pugh.
This is
Let's
an
go.
epic movie. Like I made the mistake on the first one is that I was like I wanted to go to the movie theater and I
Yeah.
didn't go to the movie theater, so I watched it on the big screen and then I stopped and said I'm going to go to the movie theater and I
Yeah.
never went to the movie theater.
Oh,
So-
So
upsetting.
you haven't seen it either?
I've seen part
Oh,
of it,
okay.
but I haven't seen the whole thing.
Oh
I
my
stopped.
god! I'm surrounded by.
seen-
I don't even
sorry.
understand where I
I'm
am
sorry,
right now.
Drew.
Well, I'm hoping they re-release the first one so I can see it because you cannot see
I
that
have it recorded.
on a TV.
You can. I watched it over the weekend. It's fucking incredible on the TV. It's great. It's
I
good.
want that sound. I want to be immersed.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
be in the desert.
Yeah, I'll have
Yeah,
to watch
and-
it
That'd be
on
nice.
You know?
Yeah.
the big
It's
screen.
just, we should watch it on this TV.
Yeah, that's
There
a big
you
TV
go.
we should watch it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one.
All right,
we're
everybody,
pointing at, we're
party
pointing
at
at like a
Drew- party-
65-inch
Yeah.
television.
Party at the CouchSoup studio.
Or no,
Let's
that's
go.
bigger. It's like a
That's
Bring the
75,
popcorn.
isn't it?
75 or 85? 75.
Yes.
I forget. It's a
It's a
big.
big
It's a
one.
beast
It's a
one
big
in the
ass
studio.
It's the only way we can see ourselves because we're blind.
Well, since you guys haven't seen part one, which is just,
Sorry. Sorry.
I mean, let's give you some context. Like, I'm not a Dune like if you had asked me to talk about Star Trek or Star Wars, I can kind of nerd out and really go into the weeds. Dune, I read the book, but it's been like 2 decades. It's been like 20 years. Okay, I mean, I read that a long time ago, so it's kind of all fuzzy to me. So they're showing a lot of stuff in this trailer, or even I'm kind of like, oh man, I kind of remember that, but I kind of don't. I think I know what that's gonna be, but I'm also like a little lost.
So this is just one book that's split into 2 films?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a beefy book. So it's not like it's kind of like taking The Hobbit and breaking it into 3 films, or
Right.
or Lord of the Rings and similar. But obviously those were broken up into 3 books, so
Yeah.
it's a little different. But there's something here, like in the book, it's a big moment, and they kind of like basically give it away in the trailer where Paul Atreides, who's played by Timothée Chalamet, he catches the worm, like he rides the sandworm, which is like a big moment. It kind of introduces him as like his leadership ability. Basically, it cements him as like a leader of the people, of the freemen, and it also kind of like hints at his abilities a little bit, like how he can kind of like see things and knows how to manipulate that, see the future and the past, and it's interesting that they revealed that in the trailer. And I'm just curious, like, since you guys haven't seen the film, or I don't even know if you've read the books, did that sell you on like wanting to see this, like that moment, or do you feel like that was weird that they kind of almost showed a whole moment like that? And for me, that it felt like a big moment that I almost wished I kind of wanted it to be revealed in the film. Do you guys have any thoughts?
You really thought you wanted that to be revealed?
Well, again, like there's that suspense. If you hadn't, like these worms, they're massive. I mean, you're talking like
big worms,
big giant. Like in the first movie, I mean, their mouths like they take over like a giant ship or a giant like spice mining vehicle, and it just encompasses it, and the length of them, and like some of them grow. I think even in the movie they talk about. Oh no!
Sorry, I just got battery. Did we change the battery?
Oh. You guys are still live. It's all good.
Okay. Yeah, there's something with the TV, PJ. I think you knocked.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
I had to look it up, but that kind of moment kind of reminded me of, the Avatar moment where he has to be like Turuk Maktal, and he has to get the bigger bird in the sky to be like the leader. That's kind of what this reminded me of. Like, and I know obviously like completely unrelated, and Dune was a book first, but it's just kind of what it visually reminded me of. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, bye, Drew and PJ. Bye. Oh, you're back.
Are we back?
Kind of.
Okay.
You're yes, you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
All good. No, it's all good. All good.
Yeah, no,
sorry,
I
that's
feel
what it
like,
reminded me of.
it does. It feels like it's almost a very similar moment, right? He in Avatar when he kind of becomes, I forget Turuk Maktal.
Turuk Maktal, yeah. And it just feels like, I mean, maybe you're right. Like, it feels like a leadership moment almost. And maybe that would have been a cool reveal in the film. Because, I mean, did they need it for the trailer? Probably not. Like, they had so much beautiful footage. Just, like, the clarity of the footage and the color grading and the differences, like the black and whites and then the oranges and the cool tones. Like, jeez. Wow, that's pretty. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then as from a standpoint of an action film, so the first film, I don't know if you guys, since you guys haven't seen it, I'll give it a little way. It's very, I would say, what's the word? It's sort of, it's not as action packed. It's more contemplative, right?
Okay.
The first one is.
The first one, yeah.
Second one's going to be more action packed.
Yeah. The second part of the book has like all the action, all the war, all the. There's a lot more battle scenes. They don't really get to that in the trailer.
Okay.
There's a little bit of it, but I don't know. Like the part of what made me love the first Dune was that slowness, that contemplativeness, this moment, these build moments. There's a lot of building.
Some
to
people don't
something.
like that though.
Yeah, I know. But if it works really well for me in like epic.
And
sci-fi,
it works well in Dune.
It did. It worked really well in the first movie, and I'm hoping that this movie keep some of that in this trailer. I'm wondering, are you getting the sense that there's still that there, or are you sort of like, do you feel like this is going to lead more into kind of like the bombasticness that most action movies have today? Do you guys have any thoughts?
I think it will. I think, like Mad Max Fury Road is like one of my favorite movies, and they did a good job of keeping that same kind of like pacing. Like, it's very calm, and then you have a rush of like craziness, or a crazy car chase and somebody's getting thrown off the side, and then so they had a good pacing with like intensity and then calmness, and I felt that in this trailer. So
I'm just standing here.
It makes me want to watch this film. Like I said, the first trailer, it did come across as very pensive and very contemplative and stuff like that. And this actually looks more like there's more dialogue, there's more action, there's more events happening. Whoa. I'm hearing myself back.
God, is that you?
That is me. Thank you for recognizing, Stephanie.
We always have technical difficulties.
Technical difficulty. Would you like me to go to a technical difficulty screen until you guys are good?
Nope. Nah, we're fine.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We're good again.
Essentially, to answer your question, Drew, the fact that it's more exciting in this one is a better thing.
I think so too. I mean, I think it needed a little bit of it. As much as I love Dune for all the technical stuff and story, I think it'll help it to be a little more like something like Sky. She was like, it's too boring for me. It was too slow.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for as much as I liked that, like my wife was similar. She was like, it's a little
too talky.
A little too.
Which is what Dune is. I mean, that was the problem with the first one. People are like, there's not enough action. You think it's going to be about worm battles all the time, and it's not. It's a political. It's a political movie.
It is. Yeah.
How does it compare to the original?
Way better. It's way better.
Yeah, the David Bowie.
Sting.
There's Sting. Yeah,
the guy from Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Considering, I think even Fincher says he's like, I want nothing to do with this, and he was, I think he directed it, right?
No way.
Wow.
It was pretty boring.
Yeah, I think he.
But the book is that way. It's a political drama.
Yeah, it's about characters and a lot of.
Backstabbing.
Yeah, which you get in the first movie, which is incredible. Like the way it's done and the setup, and the villains, the Harkonnens are the way they've done it. Like Stalin Skarsgård. I don't know if you see him. He's like that big kind of blobby.
He looks awesome.
He looks incredible, right?
He's the big blobby.
Yeah, he's that guy. Like he's like all white and kind of looks like Jabba the Hutt, but if he was hovering, like kind of like. And then you have his son Dave, who's played by Dave Bautista. In it as well. He's kind of like this.
I'm going to say Austin Butler's in it.
Is
he's a new
also
character.
Part of that same kind of like.
So it's Christopher Walken.
Yeah, you see him in the. It looks like a flashback. They're black and white. They're like these black and white scenes in the trailer. I'm not sure who he's fighting, but you see him, which is interesting. It kind of feels like in a coliseum of sorts, almost. Which is interesting. I'm trying to remember where that is in the book, or if that's something new they're bringing in. I'm kind of blanking on how that fits into the film.
Okay.
It looks like
new characters. Yeah.
I'm going to say something that is going to send the trolls at me again. All those people still living in their parents' house jerking off to anime porn.
Hey! Don't diss hentai.
Don't knock it till you try.
So
tentacles are sexy.
Not that impressed by Zendaya.
Okay.
All right, you're
cancelled.
Take care.
Here's my reason why. There's a story behind this.
Okay.
So very, very, smart woman. Love what she says and does, and great person. She was going to be in Con Man.
Okay.
So we were negotiating with her agent, and while we were negotiating, we were casting other people, and Alan, who is a great talent, and so smart, he's going through all the reels and stuff that we're looking at, and he's like, nope, no, oh no, yep, maybe, no, oh God, no. And I'm looking at people, I'm like, that's a really good job. They did a really good job. And I said to him, I go, why are you dismissing this person? Like, what did you explain to me? And he goes, okay, I'll explain to you. And he goes, watch. See, look, they made a choice. Oh, now they changed their choice. Okay, now, there's a different choice. Okay, watch now, and they made another choice. They're making too many choices. So they're all over the place. And it was like one of those moments where I was like, oh.
It's like watching like a master class on acting visuals or cues.
And we did it with looking at Zendaya. And then can't let it go.
Yeah.
Like now, it's like someone showed me the secrets on the structure of a script, and you watch a movie, it's like, that plot point's too late, or where's that dramatic need? And now, and every time I look at her now, I see that. I'm like,
even if it's not being, even if she's doing a great job.
She's a great job. That's all I see all the time now, and it just bugs me. I don't know. And she didn't do comedy. She was going to do comedy, and she didn't do it because she said, I don't want to do any more comedy. I'm only going to do serious roles from now on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
To be fair, she came out of a Disney show.
She picked right.
She came out of a fucking Disney show, and I feel like she was just beyond it now. She's like, man, I need to flex some fucking acting skills.
I don't blame her.
And what a flex.
So it's nothing to her, but it's just that ruined it for me.
I'm only doing serious films, but I'll get paid for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Well, she wanted to act. She wanted to do drama.
Tom Holland.
It's a Marvel film, and now she's with Tom Holland. It worked out really fucking well for her.
Exactly.
It's true.
Yeah. She doesn't care.
No,
she's good. She's good.
She's doing okay.
I personally think that she's great. I love her and everything. I did not come up through like the Disney Channel stuff. The last
Yeah, me
Disney
neither.
thing that I watched was like Lizzie McGuire. That was pretty much it. And that's So Raven. It was that era. It was way before Wizards of Waverly Place.
And that was last week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. And I've not yet seen Euphoria or anything, but she's like, she's just incredible. I've seen clips. I'm very much a big fan of Zendaya. I think she's great. And Timothy Chalamet. I think that he's just top notch. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
I like him
Something, and nothing again, I don't know her, but something always rubs me the wrong way when you're known by just one word, like one name, right? Like even in the...
We only call you Drew.
like
We don't
Cher
call you
and
Drew Lewis.
Madonna?
No, but like, right, no, but
Bono?
like they... But they're
those things?
performers, right, in the sense that, like, I feel like when you become
It's because no one can pronounce your last name.
Pagan?
That's why they just call me PJ.
maybe...
Rude. I mean, fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
Judge.
Come on now.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but if someone were to put your name on a poster, would it just be Pagan?
Yeah.
Or would you want to... Oh, it
Nope.
would? Okay.
Yeah.
Does she have,
fuck
what's
it.
her last name?
I have no fucking idea, but in every marketing material, it's just Zendaya, where like
Yeah.
everyone actor Josh
Is
Brolin.
it Zendaya or Zendaya?
I don't know. I'm not like
actually
an
not
expert
sure,
in
but I'm
linguistics
sure
on how to
there's a
say
video.
Zendaya.
Yeah.
But it always just seems to me like you have to have a certain type of ego in order to kind of like run with something like that. Like it's like I'm Cher or I'm Bono. Like those
Well-
people because they are like these like icons of industry. I
feel
don't know.
you.
She's well on her way.
What if she just
Yeah, I
like?
guess so.
What if her name like Zendaya something just didn't really have a good ring to it? The same way like Norma Jean Baker didn't sound as good as Marilyn Monroe. You know, like
Right, but
you know. So I
it's
feel
still
like
Marilyn Monroe, right? Not Marilyn.
right.
You see where I'm
but,
getting
like
at? Like,
Madonna,
it's like on a-
Cher.
You're just saying it's too
Bono.
pretentious
It
for you.
feels pretentious, yeah, and I just for
Rihanna.
no reason, right? Like I would like her if her name was two names or one, I guess, but the
Her
one
full
just seems
name
So, but
is
don't you think
Zendaya
Zen-
Marie Stormer Coleman. So it's Zendaya.
That's why.
Coleman.
That's
That's
kind of
why.
badass. Zendaya
That's why.
Stormer sounds like okay, sounds
Right.
a little bit like a stripper, but it sounds really cool. I mean, I think that's dope.
But
or even
like if
Marie.
it was Zendaya Smith, like you can drop the Smith.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, do you know anyone
there's
else named
plenty of
Zendaya?
precedents of
That's
people-
why
No,
I
it's
think
a
it's
pretty
great that
Changing their
she's
names.
got like one name
Yeah.
because nobody else is called Zendaya except like, you know, for the kids being born now they're all called Zendaya, but the ones that are like currently in the industry there's only one Zendaya. So
It would be like Timothy Chalamet, be like, I just call me Chalamet. Like, okay,
That would be pretentious.
I would call him whatever the fuck he wants.
So it's
Drew.
pretentious when a guy does it.
Jesus.
I'd call him right now.
Yeah. Hey. All right.
Not really.
Enough about Zendaya.
Okay.
Are we going to
what-
see it? Yes.
Are you going to see it?
Yes.
And do you think two things? Are you going to see it? And then
In the
do
movie
you think
theater.
it's going to continue the hype?
Yeah.
Think of this as like, okay, Lord of the Rings came out. Every movie got bigger, better. The fandom grew, right? By the time Return of the King, it was like, holy shit. Do you think this is going to have that level, or is it going to be more like Hobbit every time that movie came out? It was sort
I
of
don't know.
like,
I think it's going to, the theater's back. They'll build it. They're talking about the third one now. They might do the second book.
Second book, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm going to go to movie theater. I think it's going to bring people to the movie theater.
Yeah, this makes me want to watch the first one. So I will definitely be watching the first one and then go see this in the cinema. It looks really good. So
Yeah,
Sorry,
the first
I'm
one's been
texting.
on my radar.
I think it's going to
as
be
well,
a super
so.
big hit. I think that I feel like films like this just don't flop. Like, I don't know. Like, it's the production quality behind it. Something like that. Like, I
You
feel
just
like,
jinxed it.
Yeah.
No, fuck.
Just jinxed it.
What am I going to do?
Dune 2 flop because of one word person,
Because
Pagan.
someone
Yeah,
named
because
Pagan,
Pagan
with no
fuck
last
yeah.
name.
Pagan
Yeah, no
says
last
flop.
name.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's my full stage name is Pagan, no last name. Yeah.
And
Pagan, no lass.
No last.
Pagan, no last.
No last.
No ass.
No ass.
No
Pagan,
ass,
no
Pagan.
ass.
How dare
that'd be-
you? How
that'd
dare
be my
you threaten
name.
my behind.
My wife is always like, you have no ass.
I
know,
can't even
I'm
keep
a
my
white
pants
guy.
up anymore.
I have
know.
a big ass, and that's my problem. Okay. Fuck.
What are you shaking at?
Oh, it was
that?
a remote.
Oh,
Just trying
okay.
to switch you off.
Should change the channel.
All right,
Yeah,
what's our second one? What's our second one?
Well, hold
Right.
on.
Oh, there's more?
Steph, everybody
Go
has
for
to
it,
give their
Steph. Go
point of view. Just because you spoke doesn't mean we move on.
The only one following the clock.
That's true. You are the only one following the clock.
Who gets the last?
But I want other
True
people to have.
style.
Stephanie, I mean, do you have any thoughts? I mean, I know you haven't seen the first one, but do
Please
you
say
have
no comment.
No comment at this time, please.
I'm upset he doesn't like Zendaya.
Yeah. No, I'm on the same boat as Pagan. Like, I have the first Dune recorded. I've been meaning to watch it along with the Batman. Like, there's so many different things I didn't get to see in theaters that I want to watch, and Dune's one of them. So if I'm gonna see this one, I gotta watch the first one.
Well, if it comes out, do you want to go to the movie theater if they put this one out?
I think, yeah.
Are they going to do it?
Yeah,
I don't know. That'd be smart.
That'd be smart, as I'd go.
Yeah, I would see it in the movie theater. I mean,
Yeah,
that
it's definitely
color,
a
sound
movie
design,
theater
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the sound
Yeah.
design is incredible.
like
in
everything
this
about
movie.
it. Like, to me,
Yeah.
like, I didn't get to see Mad Max Fury Road in theaters, so for
Yeah.
me, this would be that moment for me.
That's
Everything's
fair.
better-
That, by the way, in
everything's better in
theater
the theater.
was so good. Yeah, I got
Everything's
that.
better in the theater.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I feel the same way. I think this is going to be a big hit. I hope it's a big hit. I'd love to see this world built out. I'd love Denis to kind of. He's just an incredible director, and seeing his skills being put forth here, even in this trailer, it just looks. Again, I miss epic films, right? Like and epic sci-fi.
I forgot to mention set design and costumes.
It feels like it's been a long time since we've had something at this scale that feels this big and scope and
And you can go to a theater without fear.
and helmed by someone with that sort of
Yes.
craftsmanship, right? You know, like
Yeah.
it. And I think I'm just excited that that's back. That this sort of type of movie is back. So yeah, I urge you to go see this. Please keep these types of movies successful so that they do well, so we get more of this type of. So studios
Absolutely.
take big risks on these big epic budget films with auteurs like Denis Villeneuve. So
Do you
please,
get paid to say that?
I should be. Yes,
It's
paying you
it's
money.
in theaters from
great
November 3rd, and it is filmed for IMAX. So if you can, go see it in IMAX.
Oh,
Yes,
IMAX,
please do.
Yes.
And we're gonna take a real quick break, and we'll be right back.
And we're back.
That's how quick
Okay.
that goes sometimes. Our second trailer, guys, The Hunger Games is back,
Bum, bum,
and
bum.
without J-Law.
Are they still hungry?
Very.
I don't know, maybe.
It's too early to tell.
Yeah.
They had McDonald's at 5. Something's rumbling at 7.
They don't. They don't know they're about to get very hungry.
Yeah, very hungry.
Yeah.
And District 12 is yet again at the center of this, starring the character Cornelius Snow, mentors and develops feelings for the female District 12 tribute during the 10th Hunger Games. So this is the
Feelings.
10th, the
Oh, so
beginnings.
it's not the battle when what's it
It's
called?
Battle of
10
Pan
years
Am.
later.
Pan Am. Oh, I thought it was
gosh.
way back when that battle in the broke up. Oh, so this is just an earlier Hunger Game.
Is it a
Yeah.
prequel or like just a?
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
a,
it was
it's
the
a
Rise
prequel,
of Snow.
prequel,
like
yeah.
obviously the Snow, like Cornelius Snow, who was
Got
played
it.
by Donald Sutherland in the early films.
Canadian.
He's an old man. He's like in his 60s
Yep.
probably, or in that age range. I'm not 100% sure, but he's like kind of a teenager-ish,
But it's not him.
early 20s.
Is it him?
Donald Sutherland? Yes, it's
Yes,
he
it is.
mocapped and it's CGI'd by another character.
No.
Waiting for that.
It
It's an
is
AI
Tom-
version
Tom
of him.
Blythe. Tom Blythe.
Yeah, Tom Blythe. Also starring Rachel Zegler, who plays the main protagonist, and then Hunter Schafer is a Tiger Snow, and Viola Davis playing Dr. Volumina Gau. I don't know who that
And
is.
it's Ziegler.
And then we get a great, and we'll see him in the trailer, Peter Dinklage
yes.
as Casca Highbottom.
This is
That's a
her,
great name.
Rachel.
That sounds like something from Lord of
He brought it over from Game of
Rachel-
Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yeah, that sounds like Game of Thrones.
I'll only do it if I can use this name.
The main actors, Rachel Zegler and Tom Blythe, they're actually all relatively new actors, like to filmography in general, like on their IMDb. Tom Blythe
Wasn't
only
she
has
a dancer?
10 credits, and Rachel Zegler, who is known for Shazam, playing Athena.
Oh, yeah.
Or Anthea, and Maria
Yeah.
in West Side
In
Story.
West Side Story.
Those are her
Yeah.
only 2 credits so far. So this would be her
Wow.
third.
She's also playing Snow White in the live action remake.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
There
this
you
is
go.
this is
Alongside
like she's
Gal
up and
Gadot.
coming, like a really big star.
She's a little on fire right now.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
All right, I have reservations about this.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
go
But
on.
it
yeah,
is
it's-
based on a book. It's based on a book.
Okay.
Well, it's not based on a book though. The other 3 were based on a book. Aren't they making this one up? There
No.
was a
No, no,
prequel.
that's-
There
She
was.
made it-
They wrote a. She
Oh,
wrote a prequel.
Suzanne wrote a
song,
I started
ballad
reading
of. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
She
So
knows.
now,
It is
now
based on a
my
book.
hopes are back up again. They're up. They're up again.
they're up again.
All
They're
right.
up again.
Well, yeah.
Suzanne Collins, though, she's a great writer. I do
is
believe do believe there was only supposed to be one book, and they talked her into a trilogy because the first book is the best book of the three.
Oh,
It's
it's so
really
good.
well.
Of
really
the prequel
well done.
series?
No, of
Of
the
the-
original
oh,
three.
the
The first
original.
book is the
Yeah.
best.
So good.
All right, count us down. I want
All
to see
right.
this now.
Okay, let's start in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
I am honored to introduce to you the creator of the Hunger Games themselves.
I love her.
Dean
I love seeing her in this
Casca
costume.
Taking a shot of something.
Ooh.
I have summoned you all here for the 10th annual reaping ceremony, in which we choose 2 children from each district to fight to the death
I
in
love
the
that.
Hunger Games.
From District 12, Lucy Gray Baird.
Oh,
Yeah, bow
love
girl.
her fashion. So
That's
good.
cool.
There has
Yeah, own
been
it.
a change this year. As a mentor, Mr. Snow, your role is to turn these children into spectacles, not survivors.
Oh, what does my mentor do
survivor.
besides bring me roses?
I do my best to take care of you.
You really want to take care of me in that arena? Start by thinking I can actually
wow.
win.
I'm Lucky Flickerman.
I love the retro style.
Of the Hunger Games.
Enjoy the show.
God, he actually looks like Stanley Tucci.
Enjoy the show.
3,
Oh nice.
2,
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
What happens in there, fueled with the terror of becoming prey. See how quickly we become predator?
Wow.
See how quickly civilization disappears?
Yeah.
Oh snap.
Whoa.
There's a natural
Oh, that's
goodness
cool
built
looking
into us
train.
all.
I
I
like.
love the set design.
It's interesting.
We can step across that line into evil,
That's good lighting.
Oh.
or not.
Okay. So.
You hear that, boy? It's the sound of snow falling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. What a line.
to be here for someone's final performance.
The costume so man.
Everything is about winning.
Oh my god. Ugh.
Whoa.
Was that Dayton?
It's the things we
No,
love
no.
most that destroy us.
That's Donald Sutherland.
Young.
That's his voice. This is reflective. It seems like a reflective movie. In cinemas, November 17th. I will be too busy watching Dune Part 2.
Nice. What did you guys think of the prequel to one of the most successful YA series ever? And also, I think this wins the award for the
Better
longest
than
movie
Harry
title.
Potter? Well, Harry Potter was technically a children's book.
Truth.
I don't really, I don't care. I don't know if this story needs to be told. First of all, it looks amazing. Color's insane. Cut was great. Characters look fantastic. If I didn't know anything about it, I'd want to watch this because it just looks so damn good. But I don't know if this is a story I need to hear. It's another Hunger Games. And I'm not into the characters like I was into the second and third one because I knew what was happening. But this is just another Hunger Game. Like I thought it was going to be the whole thing about how the Hunger Games came to be, not the 10th one.
Right.
You know what this should be? A TV series.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This should
That
be a
would be
TV.
cool.
It looked good.
Every
and you can
season is a new game.
Yeah, and new characters come in. This should have been a
Some of the
TV show,
seasons.
but I'm not going to go to the movie theater to watch this.
All right.
As good as it looked, I'm going to wait.
Pagan, what do you think?
I'm actually in a similar boat. I watched the first Hunger Games film. I don't think I watched any of the others.
Oh, that's a shame.
Maybe I maybe watched the second one. I can't really remember.
Oh, the second one's the best.
I remember being introduced to the Hunger Games, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, that's like cool. And then my friends and I were chatting when it came out, and we were talking about Battle Royale, which was the manga, Japanese manga that
They ripped off.
predates obviously the Hunger Games. And holy shit balls, did I enjoy that manga? But like it was so visceral and really like gross and like very bloody and gory. Just this like manga, right?
Did you see the live action of Battle Royale?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch anything other. So I didn't watch like any animation or live film. But I was then very intrigued by like this concept. It was a very cool concept. There's obviously been loads of films that have done this kind of stuff before. So I am intrigued by this concept in this film. Am I particularly intrigued by the characters of the story? Not really. If I'm honest, not really. I really like the design. I like the costume design.
Yeah, it looked way better than the first film. Like it looked good.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I just, it's not for me. I'm not a massive fan or anything like that, so I probably won't be seeing it in the cinema either.
All right, and our Stephanie, I know you're vibrating over there. This is your.
Let me turn that off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you can hear that? Weird. Okay.
Lipstick. What do you think? I mean, you've read the books. You're a big fan. Where are you coming down on this?
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that they were making this, I got excited, and then I downloaded the Kindle book of this. For the book that this is based on, because I was like, oh, I want to read this now. Yeah. So I started reading it last night because I want to be able to have that same experience that I had with the original trilogy, because I read all of those books like tirelessly, like I loved them to death. So then going in and seeing them, like it just feels special. It's like playing like a game and then seeing it on the screen, you know, like for Mario, like, you know, it's kind of cool. So for me, like, it's nice to see those characters, and I like being able to see someone that we already know, like his fate and, you know, where he ended up, but to see him and like what makes him him, and like just kind of like this small little bit of his story, which I think is kind of cool. And I like the design, like I like when it takes place, like it feels very like post, like almost kind of like World War II, like it just feels very
very 40s,
dark and dreary, like I just I can't get over it. So I don't know too much like about the story yet, but
I wonder, was it necessary to explore his story? Like, I mean, like PJ said, I think that the actual like invention of the games or something like that kind of,
or the first one, like the horror of that first one would have been insane.
Yeah, it, like Squid Games, right? Like it's just like, what, this is happening, this is real. Like I would have loved to see that too. I don't know how important it is to explore the story. However, I'm only saying that because I'm completely ignorant on the Hunger Games. Really, like I'm not invested in the lore, so. Maybe it is. Maybe people have been like really interested in this. Yeah, maybe
books are great.
Yeah, start with the first book. You'll love it.
Yeah.
If you like books.
Too, sorry, my voice is kind of going. I will say too, because for this one, like this game's the 10th one, it really kind of shapes the future of the Hunger Games. So like in the 11th one, they switch things up, so it's more of like what you see in the games that we see in like the Hunger Games with Katniss. You know, you've got television appearances, you've got sponsors, you've got all these different little things that they added in. So it's cool to see it too, like before all that, and before like all the high tech crazy dome that they're in fighting. Like you're in a little arena that looks like it's been there for a long time, you know. That's a place that they used to have like sports events and stuff before the war, like, so it's kind of cool. It makes it a little more earthly.
It's just so brutal, like it's so brutal.
I think it's one of these things. I don't know where I stand on this. Like when I first heard about this, I was like, God, this is a terrible idea. Why are they doing this? Like, why do we need this? And then the trailer came out, and I watched this trailer, and we just watched it now again. I don't know. This trailer it
looks really good.
It looks pretty good. Like, and the actors they picked are like doing something here, like more than what I thought would be happening, I think, in this movie. And the idea, the retro sort of futurism that's kind of been brought into the set designs.
That's cool too.
It's very cool. Like there's a lot of cool. And I think who's the I forget the guy who's playing the
Tom Blythe. Like Donald Sutherland's character.
No, the guy who the guy who's like the announcer kind of guy.
That guy. He's from the original.
Stanley Tucci played him in the first movies, but I forget who's Ben Schwartz, isn't it? Ben Schwartz.
Oh, that's not Stanley Tucci.
Yeah. No, but he looks like Stanley Tucci.
He looks a lot like
Jason Schwartzman. No,
Jason Schwartzman. Yeah, Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah. Fanula Flanagan's in this. Sorry.
He looks incredible. There's a lot of really, and Viola Davis is doing like this evil. Sort of like evil scientist thing that is like really kind of fascinating. So there's a lot I could like really dig into here, and I'm kind of like, okay, And the Hunger Games do look more brutal just from the glimpses, which I liked from the first movie. I wish there was, in the movies, the original movies with Jennifer Lawrence, I wish they were more brutal. Like, I feel like they were very...
Don't watch Battle Royale.
Yeah, they felt tame. Like, it felt like the PG version of what this game should have been. And that's fine.
I was going to say, like, it was marketed to a younger audience. It's supposed
right.
to be tamer.
But for me, I'm sort of thinking like, this should be a little bit more gritty and a little bit more bloody and brutal. But I'm hoping that the games feel that more raw, which I think would be exciting. So I'm more interested now than I'm like on PJ's. Like this does seem more interesting now than I had anticipated it being. That said, do you guys kind of brought up Snow and Donald Sutherland and like. I'm not saying Donald Sutherland played it with one note, but he was very much the evil bad guy dictator, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was very much like there was no sympathy there. There was nothing really about him where you felt like, oh, I could be on his side. He was very much like, yeah, dude, that guy should die. He's fucking evil. And here they're trying to do something kind of like with Maleficent or something where now we're supposed to feel like he was forced or he made he's that way because of things that happened. And is this a plot device that is going to work for you, knowing that how it was portrayed with Donald Sutherland? Or do you, at the end of the day, like when you watch these movies, you're kind of like, yeah, but he's, I don't know. Like, do you like this sort of idea of like taking these villains and now making us sympathetic for them in the earlier films? Do you like that? Is that working for you guys? And do you think it's working here?
I mean, I'm not sympathetic towards him.
Okay, well, there you go.
I do like that angle, like what they did with Maleficent. Cool. I do like it when they show how a person became a villain and makes them somewhat sympathetic, but it has to be done right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Joker.
enjoy that.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, Joker was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't like Joker?
No.
Interesting.
Anthony loved it. That's why he didn't like it.
Yeah, it's true.
The cinematographer did the other Hunger Games.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I'm
the director coming back. Francis Lawrence also did the last two Hunger Games.
Because this cinematography is insane in this one. Oh, he did American Gods 2 episodes,
and then he also directed I Am Legend. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's sort of pulling your strings a bit. Like it's sort of like, here's what this guy's going to be. He's going to be this evil, but the problem is that evilness was never nuanced in the later films. So I never felt like there should be like a backstory to you know what I'm saying? Like I never felt like his character had any more shades of gray. You know,
like I would rather know Elizabeth Banks' character, how she became that character with that she knows the evil of it, but she's still playing along,
right? And he's playing her part, like Cornelius Snow is playing what Woody Harrelson and Elizabeth Banks were doing. Which is an interesting kind of thing. It's like I have to play this part, but I'm also has to be sympathetic to to what's happening, and that I thought that was a really interesting character play in the first movies, and so it's cool to see that in here, and that he is playing that role. I just the love thing, and I just feel like this feels paint by numbers at some point too.
A little bit,
where it's like
I'd agree.
he falls in love with the Katniss version of the District 12 that he grew up with, like just like what's her face did in Hunger Games with that other guy.
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. So now I'm feeling like, is this painful? But then there's like great other things about it. So I'm dancing here. But
did they have to entangle a love story? Basically, is the question.
Yeah,
they always do.
They always do.
They do.
Literally though, because they're just like, how do we grab a female audience? You say a female protagonist isn't enough, guys. We need the love triangle in the end of The Hobbit.
Yeah, he's an interesting character because from what I've read so far, like it's not much. I'm only like at chapter 3, but it is interesting because he's in like an academy, so this is their like final assignment so they can graduate, and he wants to go to university. Like after the war or during the war and after the war, like the capital was hit like really hard, but his family is like struggling. But they're trying to keep that like that we're good, we're doing great, like we've got money, but like in reality they're scraping pennies, like, so it is interesting. And he's such like a vile character in the books and in the movies, and so I love seeing this, like, just because I'm never going to be sympathetic towards that character.
Okay.
But
interesting. Maybe you'll change your mind.
Killed Finnick. He killed my favorite character.
Maybe you'll change your mind. This is pre-Finnick.
Pre
Finnick wasn't even born yet. Okay,
he was not.
Don't worry
he was
about
not
it.
even a. Yeah, he wasn't even a thought.
He wasn't even a glint in his father's eye.
No.
Yeah.
But so it is. It's interesting. But
Okay.
I'm curious now. It would be cool to see it. It would be cool to see it as a TV show.
Yeah, that is an interesting idea. It's probably would be really expensive. It's probably why they wouldn't do it.
Probably.
Or no one will take it. Everyone's like, I spent all my money on Lord of the Rings.
They have nobody to write it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Way to bring it back, Pagan.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
We are a little bit out of time. Do you guys? I mean, I think we all kind of know where we land. I think Stephanie's definitely going to see this. I think I'm on the fence.
We'll wait, Stephanie. Tell us what it's like.
Yeah, Steph can tell us
Okay,
what it's like.
I'll be your guide.
Maybe the reviews.
My
will turn out
girls,
really
my
well.
girls will watch it though.
Yeah.
Okay, Recos.
Yeah.
Recos. I burped. Who's got a Reco?
Demon Slayer on Netflix just smashed through the
Really?
first season. So fucking good. Yeah.
Is it new?
No, it's actually not. The third season has just come out, and I believe there's a film, or is the third film or something like that. So essentially, it's been out a few years. I think it was 2020 when it initially came out on Netflix anyway. And it's a Japanese anime. You can watch it dubbed if you want to, but I obviously watch it in Japanese and then with subtitles. But it's very good. I was just like, what's all the hype about, guys? Like, I see them all like dressed up like at con, and there's such a big hype about Demon Slayer, and particularly because a new film just came out in January, which is part of their lore. I believe they do like a season, then a film, then a season, and then a film. So it came out in January, and I was like, what's all this hype about? Let me see. Binge watched it. So good.
Nice.
Yeah, really good.
Wow.
Recommend.
What about you, Steph?
Well, I watched Peter Pan and Wendy over the weekend.
Was it any good?
Oh.
I liked it. It was kind of funny because, like, for me, like, I wanted more of like the parents, but we didn't get a lot of,
Is that a
Balance.
series
Okay.
or a film?
Film.
It's a film.
Okay.
Yeah.
We started
So,
and then we were like, go on.
I liked it. I mean, it follows it's a good ode to like the first.
Didn't give you
Disney
anything new.
Peter Pan.
Didn't give anything special.
It didn't give you anything new, but it was a darker version, which I liked. Like it was not like very stereotypical Disney, like magical, glitter, sparkles, colors, bright.
Well, now
happy
I'm not
song
watching
dance.
Ruined it. No Disney princesses.
You have Tinkerbell
James
and there's no
out.
fairy dust? What the fuck?
There was pixie dust, and she.
Oh, okay,
Whenever
I'm
she
back.
talks, there's like a little bell. It was
That's
cute.
cute, of course. Tink.
So there's a lot of cute little things, and just nice little details. And it was probably like one of the better adaptations. Like,
Sure.
I hated Pinocchio was something I could never get back. So
It wasn't all that long ago though that there was a Peter Pan movie. Well, actually, no, it was probably a while ago. Actually, I can't remember. Was
was a
Jason
bad one.
Isaacs in it? Yes, Jason Isaacs. was in it.
2003. Yeah, that
Oh
was a
my
good
God,
one.
that
That's
was
like
so
probably my
good.
favorite. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were gonna talk about Pan. I was like, never.
Okay, yeah, I do love Pan, but I do, but Peter Pan, and I also love Hook.
yeah.
Hook was fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
That's great. Yeah.
But the Peter Pan that came out in 2003 was actually also excellent. So that's great.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Yeah.
All right.
Nothing
Yeah,
will
we'll
ever
check
top
it,
that
and that's on Netflix.
Disney
Disney
Plus.
Or no, Disney Plus. Yeah.
I'm gonna pop all these recommendations in the chat as well for anybody who's watching live.
Nice. Pagan, are you already a Demon Slayer? What's yours?
Often I will search because I have nothing to watch. I'll search shows that you don't know are good, or shows you missed, or like some things that you
Like on the internet.
Yeah. You know that internet thing?
No.
Right.
And I found one yesterday, and I started it. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's on Epix. You know that station?
Yeah, vaguely.
It's called From.
Oh my gosh,
Heard of
it's
it?
available on Now TV. If anybody's in the EU or UK, it's on Now TV.
So
I've
I've
heard of
watched
it.
one. I've watched one, and I'm going to watch another one.
Okay.
It's I don't know yet. It's interesting.
Well, I mean, giving you a little bit more than it's interesting.
There's this group of people that are in this town, and they cannot leave. And
Okay.
at nighttime, people from the dead try to convince them to let them into their house, and if they do, they eat them.
It's so interesting. Yeah, such an interesting concept.
All right.
Yeah, and it's pretty graphic. So I can't tell you in the first one because I'll give it away, but children are not spared.
Oh, upsetting.
Well, poor children's.
Yeah.
That's on Epix. Huh?
Sounds like something like
It's on
Supernatural
Epix.
level.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now
Yeah,
TV
and it
streaming
was
service for EU and UK, just in case.
it came
Is
up.
it a season?
It's that season. There's 2 seasons
Okay.
now.
Oh wow, 2 seasons.
Marisa loved it. Marisa loved it.
It sounds like a alley.
Yeah. So I'll give you more
Is
next
it
time.
subtitled or
No,
it's
yeah,
okay.
nobody's in it that you've ever recognized.
Oh, yeah.
The guy
Yeah.
from I think some of the actors from Lost are in it, right? The guy who plays
Oh,
Michael.
is there? Yeah, maybe. I never watched
maybe.
Lost
I think
though.
so.
I'll have to check that out. That sounds really
Sorry,
interesting.
his name escapes me right now.
I like. Is it like Old World? Like, does it take place in like now or in?
Yeah, it takes place in like some Tennessee town type vibe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So like in the
now.
like. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So not like European town, like an American.
American town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Misty.
I can't believe I'm going to recommend this, but we binged the shit out of the Netflix show The Diplomat.
Oh, I heard it was good.
Oh,
Yeah, with Kerry Russell. It's good, man. Like, I don't. It's about she's a foreign diplomat who gets assigned the UK branch to like oversee. She's a US diplomat. She gets assigned to watch over and be the kind of like foreign relationship for the UK, and it's kind of pits her against like this crisis that happens where a British naval ship gets attacked, and she kind of has to like work things out. But it's not. It's not a like political thriller. It's a talking show. It's like people sitting in rooms having arguments. But the thing is just incredibly well written. Like the dialogue, it feels like if you were to blend sort of like the humanity and like, you know what Grey's Anatomy did? It wrote women and it wrote like people as people. Like like when they talk, it sounds like real people talking. It doesn't sound like an actor. But it also feels like this show feels like it has the wit of something like West Wing. You know what I'm saying? It feels smart. Like it feels like when they're talking, you feel like you're listening and you feel like a bug on the wall watching like an actual political discussion being had, like a round table or like people actually arguing about something. And it's just hyper fascinating. I'd watch it if you're into politics at all or foreign relationships or just great acting. But it's also fun. There's like a lightheartedness about it. It doesn't feel like a dark like spy thriller. Like there's a lightness on it. Like it just feels like breezy. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't feel like the weight of the world or if we don't solve this problem, the world's gonna end. Like it's not that heavy. So it's a good binge. Like it's like one of those like it's a good Netflix show. And I feel like I've been missing that kind of show where it doesn't feel so deep. Like if I have to pay attention to every fucking detail because where everyone's going to talk about it Monday morning, like the Last of Us or something, you know, it's like this just feels like something you can have on and it's great and it's entertaining and you can binge it or not, you know. I don't know, but go check out The Diplomat on Netflix.
Do you also want to throw out an honorable mention for like documentary style? I don't know if I've said this before, but The Vatican Girl, definitely watch that. It's on Netflix. It is about a citizen of the Vatican that goes missing in 1983, and she remains to be the only citizen to ever disappear or to go missing in the Vatican. So yeah, just really, really good, super intense mystery. It's a documentary. It is all real, true story. And if you like this kind of Dan Brown-esque mystery, like it feels like a Dan Brown book. But yeah, so if you want to go for something like that, I recommend The Vatican Girl, which is a documentary.
The Vatican. Yeah, that sounds. That stuff.
I've seen that. Yeah, I want to watch that one.
Yeah, that looks cool.
One of my favorite shows that sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
that I watched during the break or during when like COVID first started happening was Broadchurch, and there's only like 3 seasons.
That's good.
I love
That's
that show.
good. David Tennant,
Good show.
I think is in that, right?
Olivia Colman.
Olivia Colman, yeah.
What's
incredible.
that on?
It was a BBC show or
Yeah.
PBS,
Oh, okay.
I think.
I don't know where you'd find it
I
now.
think I watched it on PBS. Or no, I was watching it on Netflix. That's where I was watching it.
It might be on HBO Max over here right now, if I'm thinking right, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that is a good show. And that'll do it, guys. We ran a little over, but that's okay. We had a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I got to work now.
Yeah, sorry. That sucks for you. I don't know what you were doing a minute ago. There was some
I don't
weird
know what the
fucking
hell
music
that
out there
was.
in my ears. I'm glad you guys weren't hearing that because that was annoying. And that'll do it for today. You can catch CouchSoup as a podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find us here on YouTube, where you're probably watching us live stream this every Tuesday at noon. Today is actually Wednesday. We ran over today. And then you can also find our other shows. We have Cracked, which airs live streams on Twitch on Tuesdays. Right, Pagan?
Usually Wednesdays around 7:30.
Wednesdays? And then we upload those episodes, then air on CouchSoup on Thursdays. And then we also have Screen Smash, which airs Mondays on Twitch. I think it's 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, depending on your time zone. And then those episodes air on Fridays on YouTube as well. And then you can find Screen Smash as a podcast as well across all of our platforms. But our hub, where we all fucking hang out and have a good time and nerd out like we're doing right now, is on CouchSoup.com on our circle. If you join, it's free to join as a member, or if you want to support our shows, please do. We put a lot of time and effort in everything we do here. And there's a lot of great perks that you can come and find on CouchSoup.com. Just sign up and you get access to our little like members hub called Circle. And
lots of nude photos of Drew.
Lots of not nude photos, because then no one would subscribe. It would just be an empty cavern of just naked
I don't know.
Don't
you have to have the right. You have to have the right code word, like when you go to order an In-N-Out burger.
Yeah.
Like animal style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't use that code. Whatever you do, don't use that code.
Whatever you do, don't type in 17011984443-2. Oh shit! I gave it away. That'll do it, guys. Thank you, PJ. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Pagan. That was a fun show.
Bye-bye.
Can't wait for next week.
See you later.
What we talk about.
See you next week.
See you guys next week. Bye.